also preserve the ability of dealers to offer discounts to their customers.
We're ever present on the steps of Capitol Hill.
As AVs become more widespread, there will be tough policy and societal questions that we must all work together to answer.
The border adjustment tax is now off the table.
That lack of consistency, transparency, explanation is leading directly to a lack of trust.
This is the 6th day of a disaster of monumental proportions.
My dealership creates jobs, especially jobs for women.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to NADA Chairman Mark Scarpelli.
Wow, what a year. You know, as I stand here today in the entertainment capital of the world, I'm thinking, what can I tell you about this past year that you haven't heard on your local news, fake news, Trump tweets, Facebook, Instagram, what you haven't argued about over dinner with your friends and even your in-laws. It's been a year of change, kind of hard to put into words exactly, and this guy launches a car into space. But I can tell you this, when it comes to the men and women of the U.S. auto industry, we are here, and we're not going anywhere. Don't let the 100 years fool you, because now that we're in our 101st year, we're just getting started. I'll tell you that. How about that? There's no doubt about it. The switch to our next century is seismic. Since New Orleans, now here in Las Vegas, we've changed direction in the dealer business model. NADA now has a great seat at the table, and we're on the offense, not the defense. Because in the 100 years since that first dealer sold that first car, we've changed the world together. Let me tell you what the score is today. Starting in our nation's capital, dealers had many do or die moments in 2017. You know, vehicle affordability is the air that we breathe, because affordability is everything. I really don't care what the critics are saying. Americans need cars, affordable cars, more than ever, period. If there's one group that got the message loud and clear, it was the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And I have a great story to tell you about the CFPB. In 2013, there was a consensus amongst banks, credit unions, and Wall Street. And they all said dealer reserve would be regulated out of existence within 6 months of that CFPB guidance. You know what? NADA was the first to stand up in the industry and say, not so fast. We stood up for dealer reserve, we stood up for our business model and common sense. And for our customers, right to save money when they buy an automobile. And I'm very proud to tell you that we stood our ground and we prevailed. This was a great victory for NADA and for our customers. How about that? Because we knew something that everybody else failed to see. Customers won't be buying cars tomorrow if they can't afford them today. That's why NADA fought for consumer affordability at every turn. And throughout the year, we went on the offense again to stop overly broad recall legislation. Legislation that would have created a consumer trade-in tax on every recalled vehicle on the road today. Even the ones with only minor defects like a peeling sticker. We averted legislation that could have cost consumers on average $1,200. Remember earlier I talked about seismic change? Well, today, automakers and tech companies are working on self-driving technology. But those same companies were working to preempt our valuable state franchise laws. So NADA went on the offense again. We fixed self-driving legislation, now known as the AV bill. Today, that AV bill has great language that protects your state laws in both the House and Senate bills. The amazing network of state dealer associations stepped up to the plate when we needed them most. We had bipartisan support on the issue. But our biggest challenge was tax reform. We're talking about real money here. NADA has been preparing for the tax reform legislation for several years because the stakes in our business are enormous. When taxes increase, jobs at dealerships decrease. Our capital investments decrease. And prices for customers, they increase. Ladies and gentlemen, if we hadn't preserved floor plan deductibility, many dealerships would be paying more in taxes for years to come. Many more would hopefully simply break even. Many more would suffer crippling losses because the original tax bill slashed interest deductibility to 30%. So NADA broke out its entire offensive line, our grassroots network. That's all of you. And you really came through. We managed to preserve 100% deductibility on floor plan loans. Today's tax bill recognizes that most dealers are small business owners, not large corporations, and that we need floor plan loans to finance our high-cost inventory. It's a must for the automobile dealer. But it didn't stop there. We also helped increase the estate tax exemption. We also stepped in and stepped the misguided border tax as well. We preserved LIFO and advertising deductibility. All these things add up. Today, more dealers are thriving. That's why we have a trade association. That's why we're organized. That's why we are NADA. Dealers need to be heard, and I have made it my personal mission to level with our OEMs. I've talked a lot about the elephant in the room, AKA stair-step incentive programs. Make no mistake, dealers are very proud to work with our manufacturers. We're proud to sell the best-selling cars and trucks out there. We value our brands, and we value our integrity above all else. So, if a factory program runs counter to that, we shouldn't use it. Dealers and OEMs can have the same goal. We just need to go about it in the right way. Yes, let's sell those inventories in large volumes. Yes, let's do it at competitive prices. But let's put a great customer experience first. Because if we do that, those numbers, they'll fall right into place. We have weathered 100 years of change together. And one thing that won't change is the dealer spirit. We've always banded together during hard times, especially during a natural disaster. This year was unprecedented. NADA was there for families devastated by not one, but 4 hurricanes. When we were there in the California wildfires as well, I'll tell you, I'll never forget what it was like walking through ground zero during those times in Houston and surrounding areas. And I'm very proud to tell you that NADA's Emergency Relief Fund was able to raise more than $3 million to support these families. And we're still sending aid for those struggling to recover. I want to thank everybody here who has donated to NADA's Emergency Relief Fund. 2017 showed that our dealership family got through it together as a family. Finally, one of the most important things that I'm proud of this year was to tell the dealer story. This year we rolled out NADA's My Dealership initiative, and it has been a huge success. The response, the engagement, the views that we have had have reached millions. And we are entering a new phase this year. And we want you to tell us your stories. Send us a video. Let us know what's going on at your dealership. I've been telling you what NADA has been doing this year. Now tell NADA about yours. Hey, there's one more story I'd like to tell you. It really is my favorite story, what happened to me this year. Let's take a look.
To dream. Some of you know that I live in the world of cars. I'm very proud to be a second-generation auto dealer from Chicago. And before I was chairman of the National Automobile Dealers Association, I was pushing a broom at my family dealership. The world today needs the sharpest minds, the most resilient spirits, and the strongest of voices. Conflict is a fact of life abroad and in our own hometowns and streets. There will come a day when certain people around you, they won't be there to support you, and sometimes they won't have your back. I always wear this when I'm out cycling. It's something that I love to do, and it clears my mind when I'm away from work. There was a great basketball coach by the name of Jimmy Valvano. Jimmy passed away way too early at the age of 47. And something he always said, and he lived by, stuck with me. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You're change makers. You adapt, and you evolve with the world around you. And we need more of that. We need you. Today means a lot for your friends, families, and people who have supported you along the way. But your graduation also means something to the rest of the world, because you are among the select who are entrusted with the future of it. So always remember, go out, rise to the occasion, dare to dream, and remember, don't ever give up.
This has been an amazing year, meeting you, serving you through the hard times, celebrating with you through the good ones. For me, this has been a job of a lifetime and one of my greatest chapters. The U.S. auto industry exceeds all borders. I have traveled over 200,000 miles in the air this year. We spread the word in China, Italy, and across our great country. And I can rest assured that no matter what, dealers will be an integral part of the fabric of America. We've taken our hits gracefully, and we always got back up. And as I said to the graduating class of Northwood University, never give up. The U.S. auto industry is ready. Dealers are ready. In fact, we are just getting started. Thank you so much for this amazing honor. Thank you.